Hello, happy new month, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Live in Conversation. My name is Daphnée Antoine, in conversation with the lovely attorney Daphnée Camilien. Hello, Daphne.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Happy December.
Happy December.
The
Yeah, we've
year
been
is
gone for a
over.
couple
How
of
you
weeks.
feeling?
It's almost the end of the year.
It
It's
is.
wow.
It
It's been
is.
quite a year.
It's wrapping up.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully it wrap up it wraps up Corona with it.
I know. I know. I know.
Yes.
hmm
So let's get started with our disclosure. Let me solo you out so you can share that.
Sure. So this is a entertainment show only, an informational show only. My name is Daphnée Camilien. I'm from Camilien Law. I'm an attorney. Anything I say is for information purposes only and entertainment. I'm what I say does not enter you and I into any type of attorney-client privilege. And Renee is a financial entrepreneur. Whatever she says this evening does not enter her in any type of fiduciary duty with anyone listening this evening. And once again, whatever we stated here is for entertainment and information purposes only.
Awesome. A lot has been happening. It's the holiday. How's
It
your
is.
Thanksgiving?
It's good. I think I'm the only one still featured. It's good.
Oh yes, you are. It was good.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh all right. And how's your holiday December coming up?
It's good. Just getting ready for Christmas. Not trying to shop online as much as possible because I just feel like everyone's out. People are stuck in from Corona and just are over it, so they're out, and I don't want to be out with them.
Okay. So you want to shop online?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were saying that you don't want to shop online.
No, I,
Okay.
I I don't want to be in big crowds, but it just feels like everywhere you go, every time you drive somewhere, there's lots of traffic, lots of people. So
Yeah, I've been noticing a lot of traffic too, and people are just like being so impatient right now.
yep,
And
yep,
I'm like, as long as I get to where I'm going to alive, I will take my time.
right.
Do what you need to do, but I will take my time. So we have, a few immigration news, kind of. Maybe some stuff we need to clarify on. And I know we have some questions for you about the H1-B2 visa. So I'm just gonna put you on the solo and to kind of inform the audience about what is the H1-B2 visa, what is the process for it, who may be potentially eligible for it, and ways that families can take advantage. So you ready?
Yeah, H2, H2.
H2.
Yeah,
Oh, I said H1B2. Why did I say that? Is there
no, because
H1B2?
H1B is what most people know about. That's the one. H2 visa is a different one. But
Okay, see, you need to educate me too. So I'm just gonna have to go back and change this whole title. But
yeah,
it's
that's fine.
okay. So I'm glad that you here to educate us about it. Too
Sure,
many
sure.
numbers.
Yeah. Sure.
So here you go.
No problem. So yeah, so this evening we'll talk about the H2A visas for farm workers and agricultural workers, and the H2B visa, right? So not to be confused with the H1B visa, which has to do with highly skilled workers. People like think of most people. The example they give is like IT. Like people who work with computers who are recruited from a lot of countries to come work in like IBM or Apple or something like that. That's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is H2A visas and H2A, H2B visas, right? H2A visas are for agricultural workers, people who work on farms or in the agricultural industry. And H2, those are non-immigrant visas, and the H2B visa is for like everyone else. who's you maybe it's not agricultural, but you are a worker or you have a skill that's not farm related. So the visa, there's been news about it because they've the United States has offered these visas to only certain countries, and recently they opened up their list, and I think they added Haiti, and I believe Jamaica's on there. There's about 80 countries that are on there. So then they took some countries off of there. So you'd have to go to uscis.gov. So uscis.gov to see if your country's on there, if you would be interested, if you're in another country and you're interested in coming to the United States for one of those visas. So who's eligible? Well, first you have to look and see if your country's eligible, right? If the United States has offered it to your country. For the H2A visa, there's about 80 countries on there. So you'd have to see if your country's on there. For the H2B visa, it's a little bit less. So you'd have to go look. And the place to find it is uscis.gov, right? uscis.gov. That's where you would go to look at. And you'd put in the search box H2A visa or H2B visa. So who's eligible? Okay, let's say you're I'm going to use an example of Haiti, since I talked about Haiti. Say you're in Haiti right now, right? And you're interested in coming to the United States on one of these visas. Well, what do you need to do? Research. And what that means is you have to find a company that sponsors people. So doing like a Google search, looking for agricultural companies or agricultural farms, largest farms in the U.S., large farms, things of that nature will probably be helpful, because in order to be qualified for this, you have to be hired by a company. So you need to find a company that, first of all, hires people who need farm workers, right? So that's number one, right? And most things are online, so it may take a little bit of time, but so that's number one. You find the company, you apply. Once you get hired, right? So you have to be hired first. Once you get hired, then the company will turn around and start their application process for you, right? So once the company starts their application process for you, and it's going to be a lot of people at the same time, they start the application process. We've heard anywhere between the whole process from beginning to end can take anywhere between 90 days to 3 months. So you have to have some patience, but they start the process, and then once their petition the I-29 petition for you has been approved, right? Then you have to go to the consulate and you have to get your H2A visa and apply for it. But on the company side will have been approved. Your name will already be there. And then that's when you go and do your side. So you'll probably have to get fingerprints. You may have to get a physical. So there's some things that are going to be required on your end. And then once that occurs, then, it's approved. Then for a lot of these places, the company will arrange for you to come to the place. Now, think about farms are all over the United States. So you can meet Alabama, California, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa. There's farms everywhere. So keep that in mind. But the biggest thing, the number one thing that if a person who's sitting in another country can do would be to go ahead and you need to find these companies, right? The next thing is for the H2B visa. Now, one thing I didn't say is that the length of time. Each of these contracts can be done for up to 1 year, right? So if they hire you for up to 1 year, and then they can renew it, right? So they can renew it 2 other times for a total of 3 years. When the 3 years are up, you have to go back to your country for 3 months, and then you can start again. You can try the process again. They can rehire you. Another thing that I think I forgot to say was about family. So if you are married, let's say you're a woman or a man, doesn't matter. If you're married and you have children under the age of 21 years old, you can also bring them with you as part of the process. However, the spouse, so if you're a woman and you're married to a man and you have children, your spouse, your husband, and your kids cannot work. Only you, the woman, can work. So just keep that in mind. The other thing is some of these places, a lot of places offer housing. They may offer meals. There's different packages that are included. They can deduct certain amounts from your check if they provide you this, but it's only up to a certain percentage. They have to pay you a certain wage. They cannot, and that's verified. So they can't have you come to the U.S. and pay you $3 an hour when everyone else is making $15 an hour. They have to have a certain wage, and that is actually checked by the Department of Labor. So that's something that has to be that's verified beforehand. So then the second visa we were talking about was the H-2B visa, and that's for the people who are not in agricultural workers. And that is a very similar process to the H-2A visa. The only difference with the H-2B visa is that it's less countries, right? So it's not 80 countries that are on the list, but there's still a lot of countries on the list. I estimated probably between 65 and 70 countries on the list. And the other thing that's a little bit different about the H-2B visa application, so that would be for maybe like a hospital, like a hotel or something like that. If they needed workers, grocery chain, factory workers, that type of thing, they have a cap. That's not the same as the H-2A visa. So they have a certain amount, like 66, I believe it was like 66,000 workers that they can take. So it's very competitive, especially, remember, because I told you how many countries. So if you have 66,000 spots and you have 65 countries, let's say, it's 1,000 people per country if they're able to send it. So just be mindful. Same thing. The process is the same. You have to be hired first. So the big thing is in all of this, if you're sitting in whatever country you're in, is you need to find out who's hiring. I did in doing this research, I didn't spend that much time, but as far as trying to find out which countries are, but I was starting to Google search like large for the farm workers. I was like large farm workers, large farming companies, because you want to find like H-2B visa companies, things like that. You want to start Googling to see what pops up. It's probably going to be the bigger places, right? Because the bigger places have, this costs the companies a lot of money per person to pay for your application fee, to pay for you to come here. If they pay for housing, there's a lot of expense. So it's usually going to be a bigger company that can absorb the expense versus like a tiny company, usually. So that's why I would start with the large like companies. I might look at hotels. If I'm looking for H-2B visa, I might start looking at I just start with H-2B visa companies or companies that, sponsor H-2B visas, and start seeing if anything pops up. Start looking at hotels, airlines, just all type of stuff like the hospitality field, maybe factories in the United States, things like of that nature, to see if you can see if anything pops up. And because what you want to do is apply. If you don't speak English, maybe Google Translate might be very helpful for you. as far as being able to answer the questions for the application. There will be, I will say this, the part that might be a little difficult for people is that once you've been hired from a place, and once the company goes and gets does what we call I-29 petition for you, once that's approved, you have to go, and unless the company takes, handles that, which is very possible. Their lawyers may handle the counselor processing, which is done on the computer once that's processed, right? So it just depends what the company's doing. More than likely, the company probably will take care of it. But so, like I said, the first thing is get hired. Find the company, get hired, and then you'll move on. But most of the work is on the company. It's not on the person. Your biggest job will be to go ahead and find the company, apply, and get hired. Remember, there's a lot of jobs out there right now in the U.S., and they're saying there's a labor shortage. So this may be a good opportunity if your company's on that list. Remember to find out the list. It's uscis.gov. And for the H-2-B visa, remember also that it does have the criteria for the family. So if you're married, let's say you're a man, you're married to a woman, or you're married to a man, it doesn't matter, whoever you're married to, you can try to get them, they can come with you, and your children who are under 21 can come with you as well. So you want to make sure if that's something that's asked on the application, you mark that on the application, or you inquire about that once you get hired. So back to you, Renee. You're on mute.
Hello, back to me. That's a lot of information.
Right.
Thank you for clarifying. I'm sure we're gonna need a segment 2, especially as more information and more details come around. But I see Christine watching. Hello, Christine. So to those of you joining, it's live in conversation with Daphnée Antoine and Attorney Daphnée Camilien, where we come live to share information pertaining to immigration details, laws, and where you can I guess the information that you need to help your families who may need this type of assistance. And I share information and resources to help families thrive. We only have like maybe 7 minutes left, which is fine. And then so you mentioned H1-B visa and H2-B visa, correct?
Yes.
Yes. I think you muted.
Oh.
Are you muted?
No.
I cannot
You can't hear me?
Hello, Daphnée.
Hello, you can't hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Yeah, H2A visa. Awesome. I have to go back and update the comments. So yeah, thank you so much for sharing that information. I know like I've received a few questions, especially from people who want to know kind of the details and what it entails and how they can take advantage of it. So it's great clarification, and I'm sure I'm gonna have to do a second segment or even reach out to you personally so I can better be informed to answer those questions. With that being said, anything else you want to add?
No, I mean, if people have questions, they can contact us.
Yes.
The other thing is, if they hear of companies, that are hiring, I'm sure it's a good little secret out there. But, I think if they hear of companies that are hiring, especially for the farm one, for the agricultural, then please share so that we can also share with other people as well so that they can apply. Like I said, Google Translate is all of our friends to give it, a shot. If you don't speak English, or you don't have an English speaking friend in the States that can help you maybe apply, you know what I'm saying, like help you navigate this if you have questions about the application. Most of this stuff is going to be on the computer. So having access to the internet is important, you know, through your phone or internet cafe. But yeah, but it's going to require a little bit in the beginning. It's going to require like finding the company applying, but after that, the 70% of this is the company.
Okay. So once you are interested, you do your own personal research to find a potential employer.
Yep.
And you find a potential employer, you then apply, and typically the employer should have the resources required to be able to help you go through the process of getting the visa.
They have to apply for you. You
Or they
can't
have to apply for you.
you
Okay.
can't apply.
Mhm.
The only thing you
Yes.
do is
Yeah. To coordinate
counselor.
it. Mhm.
Right, right.
You have to apply for. So, quick question for you. So, like in respect to the companies, right? Because I think I read something that says that they should not have had somebody else doing the work, and it's like it needs to be like a need basis, like a temporary need basis. And so, is it only like large companies who already has um have that process or have been through that, or can it be like just any company who needs help right now, maybe a
So
small mom and pop shop who needs assistance right now?
so you have to get a Department of Labor certification, and then you have to do the I-120 F
Uh-huh.
application,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and part of that entails that's the company part where it says, "Hey, I need five in I need 5 or 10 or 100 employees to do this type of work, and I have been unsuccessful finding this work." That's all on them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any You don't have to be a large company to do it. You have to. I mean, obviously, you will have to be approved by Department of Labor and by USCIS. The reason why I said start with a large company is
Mm-hmm.
because they have to be able to afford to do this, right? So
Yes.
if a mom and pop is struggling, right? So the application, I think it was like 500. The Department of Labor cert, I'm not sure how much that costs. Depending on the country you come from, the consular processing is $190. Then this is for one person, and then we
Yeah.
talk about if they have to fly you to your destination, that's another fee. And then we talk about if they're providing housing for you and food for you, and then also they have to pay you at the same rate as they would pay anyone else pretty much doing the same rate. They can't undercut you money wise. So like a mom and pop, they have to be able to afford all of this. If they can, great, yes, they can do it, right? And they get approved, yes. But and then also the mom and pop is either going to have to do their own hire an attorney or navigate Department of Labor by themselves, the State Department application by themselves, as well as USCIS by themselves, which is fine. But if they do hire an attorney, that can be costly. Once again, per person. So
Yes.
so that's a lot of expense. But a bigger company like Tyson Foods, for example, has either their own legal department that handles things like this, or they've outsourced it to another law firm that handles. And when they're like, if you let's say Tyson Food, if they need people, Tyson Food's not going to do this for one person. They're going to hire
Yes.
like 200 people at one time, or
Mm-hmm.
500 people. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to put the expense out. So that's the only reason why I said that. But yeah, if they found someplace that had like needed a couple people, and they have a setup and they've done it before, they do it every couple of years and they know what to do, and yeah, go for it.
Awesome. I think I'm not putting work on you, but then maybe in the future, if we can have like a little cheat sheet,
Oh,
uh, and maybe a chameleon law cheat sheet about those different visas, that could be helpful. So to all of you joining, you can see Attorney Camilien information on the bottom. It's 847-410-9022. Again, that's 847-410-9022. So the way For those of us who may be familiar with the whole immigration system, who've maybe gone through it, I mean, if you can do it, go for it. But if you want somebody on your side who can make sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and you want peace of mind, here's Chameleon Law is here to help you. So go ahead. She's providing you so much free information right now. And then now you can go ahead and take the information and go by yourself and implement it. Or you can say, why don't you do it for me? And then, so if you want to say, if you say, why don't you do it for me? Contact Attorney Camilien at 847-410-9022. So it is 9 o'clock. We do want to keep it at 30 minutes. I did promise I will share some holiday resources. So we're gonna do that next week. And in the meantime, if you have more questions, reach out to Attorney Chameleon and share this live, please. Subscribe to our on YouTube page. It's on the description of the video. And then the visa is H2B. So forgive me.
H2A and H2B.
H2A and H2B. So it's two different type.
Right.
So the H2A is for the farmers.
Yep, agricultural and farmers. Yep.
And then H2B is like a specialized skill.
H2B is everything else.
Everything
so
else.
Like hospitality, like hotels, casinos, things like whatever you can think about. Factory worker, everything else.
Oh, okay. So you see, yeah, you're giving me. Okay, I get it. So H2A is agricultural and H2B is everything else.
Right. That's the easiest way to remember it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. Awesome. That's why we have you here. So thank you once again. I appreciate you. It's been a great.
I did want to say two quick things.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
The first thing is, if you don't remember anything we talked about tonight, like the person out there, just remember, if you're interested in this, just find a company and apply, right? And get hired. And then everything else will come into place, right? You don't have to worry about the application and all this other stuff, what it requires. You just have to worry about getting the job. That's number one. The second thing is that if you're in the Chicagoland area, you are a immigrant, you have your immigration proceedings, or you have you're a family member of someone who's going through asylum, or you're on TPS, or you have any type of immigration questions, the Haitian American Lawyers Association is having a Know Your Rights informational on Saturday at 2 p.m. at Rainbow Push Coalition. I have to get the address for Rainbow Push. I will tell you in a second. But for Rainbow Push Coalition, and the reason why it's really informational is because we're going to be addressing asylum and TPS and all this other stuff, but it's also going to be talking about what are your rights. There's cash assistance from the state of Illinois if you've applied for asylum, or you're planning to apply for asylum, you have a lawyer. There's rental assistance if you're living in the state of Illinois and you need help with housing. There's just little stuff about, can you work? When can you work? If you're on TPS, there may be opportunities for employment that you didn't know about, that are living wage employment. So maybe if you're on TPS and you have maybe you have a job, but it's you're struggling, there are certain jobs out there that have just opened up that can give you an opportunity to kind of give you a boost that may pay a little bit more, especially for people who already have their work authorization. So we encourage you to come out to find out more information. Rainbow Push Coalition is 30 East 50th Street. It's in Chicago, Illinois, 60615. It's this Saturday, December 4th at 2 p.m. It's being put on by the Haitian American Lawyers Association. You do not have to be Haitian to come out. If you are on TPS, gonna apply for asylum, planning to apply for asylum, on DACA, have questions about immigration, and you want to come out and hear, I think it would be very beneficial. And that's it.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, thank you.
I think you froze, Renee. I think she.
For we might.
Yeah, no problem. You froze. You're back.
I'm back.
Okay.
2 p.m. 2 p.m. this
2
Saturday.
p.m. 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Yep.
this Saturday at the Rainbow Push Coalition, which is on 30 East 50th Street, Chicago, Illinois 60615.
Yep.
So it is information. So you are not guaranteed representation,
No.
but then just come and have somebody review your document and see potentially if you may be able to get help.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Uh, Again, thank you, Attorney Camilien, for sharing your knowledge with us and letting us know that you're here and available to help if needed. So, again, her number is 847-410-9022 or visit chameleonlaw.com. Bye for now. So, next week, I'm going to be sharing with you all resources, and then if you need holiday gifts, AJP Unlimited have a few items that you can visit our Facebook page. And then that's it for this evening. Have a good evening. Bye now.
Bye.